Don't adjust your internet. I'm not in my car and I'm not about to present a telecommercial. We're talking about The Substance. G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. Tonight I'm in a hotel room in Adelaide without a tripod talking about a film, and that film is The Substance. It's written, directed and co-produced by French filmmaker Corinne Farget, and this is her second feature film after her 2017 feature film Revenge. What's this one all about, though? Well, Elizabeth Sparkle, played by Demi Moore, is an aging Hollywood icon who's had a star on the Walk of Fame, which is currently cracking. She has her aerobics television show that the ratings are dropping in, and she's just turned 50 when her present from her producer is being told that she is losing her job because they're looking for fresher, younger, more sexy look. After Elizabeth suffers a car accident, she has slipped a very unusual USB device from a freaky looking nurse, and on that USB device it says The Substance and has a phone number. She puts it into her TV and she realizes very quickly that it is a black market medical procedure that you self-administer that basically duplicates yourselves and makes an even younger, newer, more beautiful version of you. And that more beautiful version of Elizabeth is Sue, played by Margaret Qualley. Now, Sue very quickly becomes the new belle of the ball, taking over the vacancy left by Elizabeth and becomes the new angel of Hollywood. But it all comes at a price. And a little bit like Gremlins, there's a few simple rules that you need to follow. One of them being that you cannot coexist in the same world, and you must swap out every 7 days. So the young you and the new you. If you try and do anything else, consequences will occur. Oogie boogie. And do they what? As I mentioned, this film is directed by a French filmmaker, Corinne Farget, an amazing filmmaker, and she has crafted a phenomenal film in this. Pluses for this and a few warnings for this. Demi Moore has never been better. If you don't know who Demi Moore is and what her filmography is, watch almost any film in the 90s and you will find that Demi Moore is a part of it. Of course, she had a massive rise in things like Ghost, Indecent Proposal, About Last Night, Few Good Men, G.I. Jane. She was in a lot of really great films in the 90s. And striptease. But here she puts it all on the line. There is all the vanity is out the window. She's putting herself fully on display and embracing or commenting on what she currently has as an actress. So she's really putting her acting chops out there as well. Really great. Margaret Qualley is also very fearless in this role. She is certainly a great actress and really shines or sparkles in her part as Sue. Really, really great. Dennis Quaid. Now, Dennis Quaid is also like Demi Moore, putting everything out there. Really just going, you are going to hate me. And I want you to not just not like me, I want you to absolutely loathe me as his character in this film. And he really puts it all out there and does a phenomenal job. The warnings that come with this film is, look, I saw this film in an Adelaide cinema at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday film in Adelaide, you'd think, it's probably a time to watch something that's a little bit, goes down nicely with a cup of tea and a biscuit. Thank you very much. Well, this film is definitely not that. This film goes down well with squishy, nasty, horrific things, and that's what this does. Probably goes well with a vomit bucket, because there are some scenes in this that will make you want to chuck up, and I mean that in the best possible way. It is a squishy horror film. This is a film that has body parts being, just ripped off, bones being crushed, and really nasty stuff. People getting birthed out of the back of other people. That sort of gear. If that sounds like a fun night to you, then this film is definitely for you. Don't go in just expecting a drama about drugs or a commentary on Americans' healthcare system or anything like that. Or let's see how Demi Moore's looking in the nude. I mean, you will see that, but this is not just that. It's a whole lot more than that. Huge kudos to the people who did all of the visual effects on this film. The list is long, but a phenomenal effort. I think the thing with this film that makes it so special, the premise could have just been a straight body horror film. But I think what's really interesting about this is because the director is from France and the whole thing was shot in France, that it has this real fake Hollywood veneer to it, but it is European filmmaking, which is so interesting that it's really taken the whole gaze of Hollywood, transferred it to a European landscape, and has this European horror overtones running through it. The director cites David Lynch, David Cronenberg. Probably should cite Brandon Cronenberg as well because his film Infinity Pool also had some pretty squishy stuff in it. But yeah, this film feels a lot like Society. It feels a lot like Naked Lunch. It feels a lot like those horror films of the 80s and 90s that were really squishy, nasty horror films. And this film is a body horror film. It's a social satire. It's body horror. It has some amazing performances. It's very smart. It won the best screenplay at the Cannes Film Festival. Does it deserve it? I mean, the screenplay it's not overly complex, and I wouldn't say there's a massive amount of dialogue in it. So, story conceptually, potentially, I think more from a directing and from a art direction point of view, I think this is where this film really shines. I don't think the story is overly complex, but I think the art design, the visual effects are fantastic. And this just feels like a real return to form for Demi Moore, really putting herself out there in this film. And Dennis Quaid is great. Word of warning to people who suffer from mesophobia, which I believe is the fear of particular sounds generating a cause of distress. And certainly for those people with OCD, I believe it's very distressing. This film has some really intense audio cues. Like if you are very focused on sounds being an issue for you, probably the sound of my voice right now might be an issue for you, but there is some scenes in this that are as horrific, if not more horrific than the body horror stuff. There's a scene where Dennis Quaid eats a plate of prawns, which is giving me nightmares even while I think about it. It's a great scene, and there are some seriously great audio moments. It paints every man as absolutely horrific and monstrous, and it certainly ticked that box. So, The Substance is not going to be for everyone. Some people are going to leave it going, that was horrific. And I would say that probably in the third act, not even the third act, I'd say more towards the last 10-15 minutes of the film, I think it does overstep its welcome a little bit. But overall, this is a film that is going to have you talking. It is rated R. It is one of the films of the year for me, and I would probably give Substance an 8.5 out of 10. I thought this was amazing, but it is not going to be for everyone. It's pretty full on. Yes. All right. That is it for me for tonight. I hope you have the most amazing evening, morning, whatever it is you're doing. Please tell your friends, tell your parents, ring up a random stranger out of the yellow pages and tell them to subscribe to my station. Or just go over and tell your neighbour, whoever. Jump on, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all next time here when there is not sirens going on outside my bedroom window. It's not my bedroom, it's my hotel. All right.